check this out. This is interesting. It didn't add any tests because this is typical for legacy mainframe applications that rely on manual testing or mainframe specific testing tools not present in the repository. This is Bob, IBM's new IDE, which they call your AI-powered development partner. So a few months ago, I did a video on IBM's flagship Granite models, and now they're pushing it to the next level by releasing a brand new IDE platform with a cute avatar and a ton of cool features, all powered by their Granite models. In this video, we'll take a closer look at Bob, see how it works, test it out, and figure out if Bob is really the next autonomous architect we've all been waiting for. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so let's dive into it. So in a world of Claude codes, Geminis, codexes, and all other AI model harnesses, it begs the question, what makes Bob special or unique? Well, while most assistants are focused on vibe coding, which is basically just generating snippets as fast as possible, Bob is built for architectural governance. It's less about a single chat window and more about an agentic workflow that separates planning from execution. IBM specifically designed Bob to have a set of helpful features that let you carefully control different phases of your development cycles, like planning, coding, reviewing, etc. And you can see this in their mode picker at the very bottom of the chat. You have an ask mode for quick questions, or code mode for implementation, and a plan mode. And you can even create your own custom modes tailored to your needs. But one of my favorite features is their review mode. You can run a /review command, and Bob uses its built-in security guardrails to scan for things like hard-coded secrets, injection risks, or weak OWASP practices. It even gives you a dedicated findings panel where you can triage issues similar to a professional security audit tool. But this one is built directly in your IDE. And if you prefer CLIs, you can also use it in the terminal with Bob Shell. And because IBM is one of the oldest tech companies out there and they have such deep roots in mainframe systems, Bob probably has a specialized understanding of older languages like COBOL. So I decided to put it up to the ultimate test. You know how everyone jokes that COBOL is one of the most ancient languages that still powers a lot of banking systems and ATM machines, and how everyone is terrified to touch the source code out of fear of breaking a global financial pipeline? Well, I've grabbed an open source COBOL repository called ZBank, and we're going to see if Bob can reverse engineer this legacy mainframe logic and autonomously modernize it into a functional Python app. So as soon as I open Bob for the first time, it will ask you to import your settings from other popular IDEs like VS Code. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now, once we're inside, we can see that it looks very similar to VS Code, but with a little cute Bob chat panel on the side. And here we can see that we can also choose one of the modes that we discussed earlier. Since I'm not planning a new project, I'm just going to go ahead with the code mode to ask Bob to start coding right away. And for the prompt, I've specified that Bob is a Python developer who's been tasked with modernizing the old COBOL ATM machine stack and turn it into a nice, clear web app powered by Streamlit with a good-looking UI. And before Bob starts writing the code, it displays a very detailed auto-approval modal. And this is a nice touch because here you can specify exactly what the agent is allowed to do without your permission. And let's be real, I think most of the time we're just hitting auto approval all the time. But here you can actually define a clear sandbox, so you can pick and choose. But for this demo, I'm going to allow it to read and write files in our repo and then let it do its thing. So it took Bob roughly 3 minutes to finish the task, and now let's spin up the app and see how it actually works. So we got this nice dark themed login page at the very start, and we can log in with the hard-coded demo credentials to test it out. And the dashboard also looks quite decent, although the pop-up text is too bright, so it does lack a bit of design judgment. But all the operations are functional, so overall it did manage to successfully complete this task and modernize the COBOL stack. And now I want to try the review function. This will force Bob to do a full audit of the codebase and find any potential security issues. Once we run this, we now see that there's a new Bob findings panel which just popped up, where we can examine each issue in more detail. And if we click on one of the issues, you can see that there's also this handy light bulb button, and if we click that, Bob will automatically go ahead and try to fix this issue on its own. And not only that, but after fixing it, it also asks if we want to add a dedicated unit test for that specific issue. So let's go ahead and click that. And now we can see that Bob adds additional tests and executes them to double check that the issue is indeed fixed. And here we can also see the diff logs of the changes Bob made. Let's try another issue. This one is interesting. It detected a potential race condition issue. So let's click on the light bulb and try to fix that one. Oh wow, the fix for this is actually a one-liner change to add a begin immediate command for proper locking in SQLite. Pretty nice. So now again, we can let it fix it and then ask it to add proper tests for it to make sure that the issue is properly handled. And there's one last thing I want to check. So I'm going to open a new copy of this repository without our Python changes, and I want to run the review command on the original COBOL implementation to see if it finds any potential issues. And look at that, it found 8 issues. So it can confidently identify critical bugs even in such old languages as COBOL. And I don't understand what's going on here, but let's just try and fix one of these issues. And once again, after fixing it, Bob asks if we want to add dedicated tests to it. So let's click yes. And check this out, this is interesting. It didn't add any tests because this is typical for legacy mainframe applications that rely on manual testing or mainframe specific testing tools not present in the repository. Wow, so I guess this is such an ancient stack that they didn't even test it automatically back then. So there are probably no testing frameworks for COBOL that exist in the wild. So that is pretty interesting. But anyway, there you have it, folks. That is Bob in a nutshell. Now, this might be a hot take, but I honestly really like using IDEs opposed to CLIs, where I don't understand what the agent is doing most of the time. I really value the fact that such a tool like Bob has separate panels and UI controls for things like approvals or review findings. I find that it provides a much more structured way of working within code bases and splitting tasks and having a full picture of what's actually going on. So if you want to try Bob for yourself, they do provide a free trial that includes 40 Bob coins to spend. And for comparison, the test we just did there cost around 4 Bob coins, and 1 Bob coin is equivalent to 50 cents USD. So what do you think about Bob? Have you tried it? Will you use it? Let us know in the comments section down below. And folks, if you like these types of technical breakdowns, please let me know by smashing that like button underneath the video. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This has been Andres from BetterStack, and I will see you in the next videos.